Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is Behavior here for another episode of Just My Opinion. This one right here is for What If Season 1, Episode 1, titled What If Captain Carter Was the First Avenger? So I just want to let you know, guys, that this is going to be a spoiler-filled, spoilers filled, a recap, episode breakdown, whatever you're going to call it. I'm going to spoil this first episode as if you've already seen it. So if you haven't seen it, I strongly suggest you press pause, subscribe, go watch the episode, then come back. You have been warned. I think this is a great way to start off this What If series on Disney Plus with Agent Carter, with Peggy Carter taking on the mantle of Captain America, or in this one right here, Captain Britain. One of the things that I noticed so far is I love how strong she is. To me, she's even stronger than Steve Rogers was in the live action adaptation. And I think the reason that is because she was already like a fully sized grown woman. She could already fight. She had already trained and, mentally and physically. And then you take the super soldier serum and then of course that enhances it. Steve was just like, a buck 05, you know what I'm saying? Super short. And so we remember from the first movie, it takes whatever you are and enhances it. So like if you're a good person, it makes you a really good person. If you're a bad person, it makes you an even worse person, like the Red Skull. So I like that right there. Also, like, I just got to talk about like the animation that just really stood out to me as well. I'm loving all of that. And in my review for this, I said that like majority of the voice actors came back. I'm looking at this right now and I really couldn't even tell, but that's not even what is his name? Not Chris Hemsworth. But God, I cannot think of Captain America's name. Not Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans. That's not even Chris Evans as Small Steve. This is this gentleman by the name of, where's his name at? Josh Keaton. And I really didn't even notice that until I started watching this. I mean, he still did a great job, but that's just not who he is. I also like Bradley Whitford as Colonel John Flynn. He wasn't in the movie as well, but I do like him. I like his addition right here to the episode. His character and everything that he had to offer. But I'm loving also like the narration is coming over from the Watcher, who is Jeffrey Wright, this guy right here at the top left. And, at the very beginning, he was like, this moment right here where Peggy decided to, not go up in the booth, but stay down there. And I wonder what would have also happened. What if Steve never got out the chamber because he got shot, but he jumps in, Peggy jumps in there, takes a super soldier serum, and I like that right there. She creates another branch universe, and it just goes to show just like the little smallest detail can change everything. It was also just like a rude awakening when there was like the debriefing after that with the Colonel John Flynn was like, oh, we wasted the money and we'll never get this chance back, and 60 million going down the drain. And she was like, I was supposed to get a soldier. She was like, I am a soldier. And he was like, no, you're a woman. Women don't fight on the front lines. They're really afraid of breaking a nail. I'm just like, man, damn, that's just like messed up. But we see that she is fully capable of fulfilling the role of Captain America, Captain Britain. You get my point. Right after that, we kind of get like a little training session of her with her and Steve kind of going back and forth, not in a bad way, but a positive way. They're just kind of, keep each other's spirits high. But she was like launching those 45-pound plates into the wall. I was like, damn, that's crazy as hell. You know what I'm saying? But I like that right there. Like, she is just strong as hell. Everything with the Red Skull and Smits and them trying to get the Tesseract, that's cool right there. We also see that, Tony Stark's father, Howard Stark, gives Peggy the uniform and the shield, and then she just goes and wrecks shop and just whoops the hell out of all those German Nazi Hydra soldiers at their base. And then she ends up kidnapping, I don't want to say kidnapping, I don't want to use the wrong word, but Toby Jones Artem Zola right here. And he comes back as the voice as well. But it's interesting, when she was in the middle of the fight, which she is just going hard in the paint, whooping everybody, better than Steve Rogers. That gentleman came up all cocky, snapping his neck, and it's like, oh, they sent a dame, I forgot, it was like an F word, a fragile. Yeah, he said like a fragile feline or fragile something. And she was like, what? And she dropped the shield. Like, I don't need the shit to whoop your ass. And then she proceeded to whoop his ass. That was cool right there. I like that a ton. I like how she went to go rescue the Howling Commandos. And it's just funny, like, you know, I mean, this is in the 40s. It was a long time ago, over 7 years ago. But at the same time, I'm not saying, oh, it should have been excused then. But, you know, this episode is kind of like really puts into perspective the bias that women have always gone through since the beginning of time. You know, of course, men are naturally stronger than women, but there are some women out there that are strong as hell. They can kick a lot of ass. And Peggy Carter is one of those examples of that. Of course, we got the Dora Milaje, but this is talking about, you know, Peggy Carter right here. But they're like, who the hell are you, or who are you supposed to be? Did you not just see her come in here and whoop everybody's ass? I would have been like, thank you, thank you, thank you. What can I do to help? Instead of trying to check you, like, who are you supposed to be? Talking about Bucky Barnes or whatever. But she then, you know, they go in there and, you know, she already stole the Tesseract, you know, from that point. And then later on, we see that they end up, or right after this, they end up building the Hydra Stomper with Steve or whatever. And that's cool. Tony Stark built the Iron Man, but his daddy Howard Stark built the Hydra Stomper, you know, and I like that as well. The montage of her going around kicking ass, she was jumping plane to plane. Like she was riding on the back of Steve, the Hydra Stomper, and then jumped through one plane, beat some ass, jumped on another plane, beat some ass, and then jumped back on the Hydra Stomper and they flew away. I'm like, man, that's crazy right there. Now, I don't know if this was a mistake on their part, but I'm like, how did the Skrull end up getting the Tesseract back? You know, because I'm assuming it had to be within the Hydra Stomper suit to power it. You know, because when they tried to jump on the train and it exploded, you know, the next scene, well, not the next scene, but scenes, a few scenes after that, at the climax of the show, at the conclusion, at the end, you know, we see the Hydra Stomper hung up. Steve is on the ground, and then the Red Skrull has the Tesseract. So it had to have been in there for him to be able to get it back. Otherwise, that just really doesn't make any sense right there. Of course, I love all the Hail Hydra stuff. I love the relationship between Peggy and Steve as well when they're at the diner. And, you know, she's like, you're my hero, and puts, you know, her hand on his hand. And she's like, oh, but no, I'm sorry, you are a hero. And Steve was a lot, before that was like, oh, I'm just still skinny Steve, you know, but I'm in a bigger suit right now. But right before that, she was like, you know, I can tell how everything has changed. I love how I can tell the difference. I don't have to scream and shout and try to make way and make it known that I'm in the room. You know, she's just noticed. And that just kind of sucks. I mean, you know, Agent Carter was a good agent. She was a good soldier. She was a good, you know, civilian. She was a good, you know, teammate. And she's strong and all of that, but she's just not held as equal. But right, I mean, that was cool. Howard Stark comes right after that and kind of just like messes up the moment. And then at the very end, they end up fighting like the little Leviathan. The Red Skrull gets crushed as hell. I love Howard Stark's reaction, like, whoa! You know, I love when the Howling Commandos, as soon as they came in, like, oh, who ordered the calamari? And I was like, y'all better start shooting. And then they just started shooting. I like that, you know, common sense and all that good stuff. It was also nice to see Peggy Carter wield that sword and kind of work that around, you know, just a little bit. I was wondering how they was going to do the ending, and she just ended up popping out the wormhole at the end, you know, and Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury is there. It's been 70 years, and then, you know, it jumps to credits, you know, but this was a fantastic episode. I know I just ran through everything that's real quick. That's because later on today, I'm going to be doing my live recap for this episode on season 1, episode 1 for What If. So make sure you come back for that. Subscribe to my channel. I'm going to have another guest as well and talk about a couple of other topics, but I just had to start this thing off saying that this What If series is starting off great. It is phenomenal, and I'm loving this episode 1. And if you don't have a Disney Plus subscription, which I'm pretty sure you do, but if you don't, go ahead and get one, because all this Marvel content that they're putting out there is very, very, very entertaining. But guys, that is just my opinion. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to this quick little recap. Again, make sure you come back later for the live breakdown where we go all the way in, scene by scene. Subscribe, give me that thumbs up. And before you go, don't forget, guys, that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.